This is Richard Hill speaking to you about my painting that I believe is James Whistler. The painting was purchased back in 2008. I bought it from an Alfred Beta, an old master collector, and he had owned this painting for almost 40 years in his office. And he was trying to identify the artist, and he thought the artist was a Frenchman. When I looked at it and read the brief description of it, I noticed that it looked like Whistler. So I contacted him. We talked about it. He had a price of just under $5,000. I went ahead and at that time, which I was just retiring, $4,800 was a lot of money to me. But I was so excited about the painting and the quality of the painting that I said, this painting is right. Let me get the information on it. It is signed. If the condition is right, this will be a good investment. And I was interested in researching art. And that's where it all started. It started over 30 years ago. The lady at Colonial Williamsburg advised me on a painting. I need your help to identify the painting. She said, I can't help you. The head of the lady was the head of 2 museums in Williamsburg. And I said, well, can I hire somebody to help me research the painting? She said, no. She said, Mr. Hill, you're going to have to do it yourself. So I've been doing that for the last 30 years. This is the first painting I want to present to you. I hope to, if there's interest out there in the market, I have some other art finds I think you'll find very interesting, and I hope to add chapters to this. This is chapter 1, and I hope to add chapters to it with additional painting that you might find interesting. The first item is the copy of the portrait itself. It shows an American artist who I think is Whistler. He is in the style of Rembrandt, of which he followed, and I think the painting was purchased in an art shop in London about 40 years ago. Mr. Beta was unable to identify the painting. He kept showing the painting to people coming to his art studio or his office, and one lady came in from Europe and said, no, that's not a French artist, that's an American artist. And that's where I think she was right in identifying, and she never identified him as Whistler. I did. And even when I presented that to Mr. Beta, after I received the painting and received it and paid him for it, he contacted me and he said, who do you think it is? And I said, well, Mr. Beta, it is James Whistler. A week later, he sent me a letter from his restoration man and himself, and he said he and his restoration man didn't agree with that analysis, but he knew that I would work on it till I identified it, so that's the way we left it. So we're going to the next page. The page is coming up now is item number 2169. This is where I saw it on the computer, and it is 29.5 inches high, 22 inches wide. There is a description in here about the lady from Europe saying it's an American, which I thought that's just what's the key thing that hooked it for me and got me looking at Whistler. And I paid $4,800. So we go to the next page is a brief biography of Alfred Beta, very successful individual in the chemical business, and he ended up buying a couple of labs and patents, and he ended up giving away a lot of money in his lifetime, and his hobby was old master paintings. I asked him, had he worked on this painting, and he assured me he had not worked on it. I asked him, have you analyzed the paint and made a study of the paint? He said he didn't do that, and yet he's in the chemical business. I didn't understand that, but I own the painting. He has my money. We're all even. The next item is a detailed close-up of the face image. And if you notice his hairline at the top, there's a little fresh paint and it looks like brown paint. I believe that's where the hat or the beret that he's wearing here was added to cover up the bald spot, of which it was a bald spot there. And I think Beta, I could be wrong, added that one little area. I asked him, have you added anything to painting? He assured me, he said he hadn't, but I believe he did. But the painting is great. The x-ray shows the bald head that Whistler and his brother in their 60s had a bald head. So we'll go to the next item. This is an x-ray of the painting, and you can see the bald head without the added on part of the hat. And this is the true image of Whistler just before his death. This painting, or this x-ray here of the painting, shows Whistler's true appearance. And this is an exceptional x-ray and tells you an awful lot. The next beautiful color photo is a color photo of his right hand. This is a master's painting of a master's hand. And this is, I think it's just an exceptional, the brush strokes are beautiful. It shows the master's hand, and I think that's an exceptional photograph. The next photograph is an x-ray or print of an x-ray showing what was in the left-hand corner. You have to picture his right hand is in the middle, and in the very corner is the left hand, of which Whistler painted over. And you could see the little fingers sticking down in the corner there. This is a showing where he actually covered up the right hand. In the earlier portrait that Whistler did of himself, he did the same thing. He painted over the left hand. He's doing the same thing here, but but the sitting arrangement is in reverse of what the first portrait was. But this is a great x-ray, and I can explain it better if you need more information. The next is a detailed color photo of the area just above the right-hand corner of the painting. It is underneath the signature part of the right side. It is the lower right corner. The painted over left hand was in this right-hand corner. And it shows you the different colors that he used and the cover-up. And the cover-up is the cover-up of the left hand. It's right here. This is a detailed early photo of a real photo of Whistler showing his little plume of white hair. He was very stylish. He was quite a dresser. He was a showman, and he was an entertainer. And this shows character. And but this is a young, probably in the 1870s, getting close to 1880. I think it's in 1870. The next photo is a copy of the photo of his brother, his twin brother. His brother was a Dr. Whistler. He was in England. They were both in England. And that's where the painting came from, by the way, and from a shop in England. And as you can see, his hair is receding there at getting close to his time of death. And I can't remember right now. I think he died right about 60 and right about 1900, as I remember. But he and his brother look just alike. The next copy of a photo of he and his brother when they were young. And here they are there together, and they call them the Whistler twins. And as you can very well see, that they look just alike. The next study was a study of Whistler's signature, and his signature evolved over his career. It was five periods of his signature that changed. It started out from 1855 to 1864, a Whistler signature. Then from 65 to 76, it was a butterfly image. Then from 68 to 74, it was a monogram butterfly signature. From 75 to 1899, it was a butterfly over a clover with a tail, painted onto the signature. And the very last phase of signature changes over his lifetime was from 1884 to 1903, which it was an impressionistic stage butterfly of his life. And you will see that is what is matched in my painting, was the impressionistic signature with a butterfly on a clover with a scorpion tail painted in green and white. So I will show the next one is a variety of his signatures, and they're all dated. Each one of them are dated as to when they were on the painting, and you will see how his signature changed over his lifetime. And as you will notice, in 1901 to 1902 is my signature on my painting at the very end. The last one you'll see here is a detailed close-up of the signature itself. And it's impressionistic, it's beautiful. The x-ray shows it's all original, no retouch, no overpaints, and that's what the x-ray shows. This is a beautiful work by Whistler, his last portrait. In collecting art for the last 30, almost 40 years now, I've been able to collect, 30 or 40 good paintings. I have 10 to 20 paintings that are exceptional. And this is painting number 1, of which I hope to present to you in time, and if I have enough energy, to present at least 15 paintings in total. This is a picture of a family plantation home in Georgia. And that's my way of art finds in the South and how you can research your finds. You have to do it yourself. That Barbara Luck of the Colonial Williamsburg said, "Mr. Hill, you will have to do it yourself." And that's what I've done. This is a brief report. If you have any questions, you can contact me, and I'll try to help you in any way I can. The big key thing that people ask for in art is provenance. I'm doing the research. The provenance goes back to when Beta owned the painting, and he purchased it in the early 70s.